The Overlord's Teachings 36, Eradicator of Hope. Part 1. Why should I learn it? Hope is a candle in the void. I am the boot that snuffs it. Ah, my heir, you wish to conquer? To bend entire systems to your iron will? Then heed me well. Before you break bones, break belief. For a rebellion with hope is a rebellion that multiplies. It spreads like contagion. It infects the minds of slaves, soldiers, and statesmen alike. But a rebellion without hope, it rots in its cradle. It withers in the dark. Let me tell you, not as a tyrant, but as a student of entropy. Hope is energy, and as all physicists know, energy fuels resistance. 1. Hope is a form of power, invisible yet potent. In the realm of quantum cognition and collective psychology, hope functions like a field effect. It aligns otherwise chaotic minds into unified motion, like electrons aligning under a magnetic field. Once hope enters a population, even cowards begin to imagine courage. You cannot allow this, because where there is belief in something better, there is a reason to fight. So, you must become the slayer of their imagined tomorrows. Your name must be synonymous with finality, with futility, like gravity, inescapable, like the void, mute and eternal. 2. History proves hope, not weapons, wins wars. Study the collapse of empires. Rome, Terran Alliance, the Sycorax Federation. None fell due to sheer force. They fell because the people believed something else was possible. That belief was enough to tip the scales. So the lesson is simple, my chosen heir. It is not bullets you must fear. It is poets. Erase their songs, crush their myths, make martyrs die in vain, forgotten and faceless. Rewrite rebellion as madness, not martyrdom. 3. Neuroscience confirms hope sustains the body under duress. The human body, primitive but marvelously stubborn, can endure starvation, torture, deprivation, so long as it perceives escape. This is the foundation of neurochemical endurance. Dopamine, the molecule of motivation, is not triggered by reward, but by the anticipation of reward. So how do you break this machine? By removing all anticipation. No escape, no rescue, no future. You must instill in them a visceral, inescapable now. A present that stretches into infinity. Then the body collapses without a blow. 4. Rebellion needs heroes. Starve it of icons. Every insurrection burns brighter when it has a name to chant, a face to worship, a last stand to immortalize. Do not give them that. Do not let rebels fall in glory. Make them disappear. Quietly, in the night, without a final word. Let their loved ones question if they ever existed. Let history record nothing, because when there is no martyr, no message, no meaning, rebellion collapses into private suffering, and private suffering never organizes. 5. Philosophers agree, hope makes tyranny impossible to sustain. Even your ancient philosophers knew. Plato warned of the noble lie turning on its creator. Nietzsche claimed that when man clings to hope, he endures even chains. And Camus, that existentialist fool, said rebellion is the act of a man who still believes in justice. Your task, then, is to destroy the concept of justice itself. Make justice your face. Make fairness your decree. They must forget what it meant to hope for anything outside your will. That, my heir, is not cruelty, it is engineering. Learn this, and you shall not rule as a mere emperor. You shall rule as a reality, a condition of existence itself. Part 2. How do I learn it? Hope is not a flame to be snuffed, but a system to be dismantled. Learn to disassemble the soul. Now we enter the laboratory of despair. The practice of eradicating hope is not as crude as slitting throats or razing cities. That's for amateurs with blasters and bruised egos. No, to truly learn this craft, you must become a surgeon of perception, a sculptor of inevitability. Here's how. 1. Study propaganda with the rigor of a neuroscientist. Hope lives in perception, so you must learn how to engineer perception. Read the playbooks of history's subtle tyrants, not the brutes, but the brilliant. Study Stalin's silent purges, the Roman Senate's selective assassinations, the quiet wars of the Korvax singularity. Understand framing theory from cognitive psychology. Hope exists in the frame, not the facts. Change the frame, and they will beg you to extinguish their own dreams. Master the art of truth deformation. Never lie directly. Twist reality just enough to erode certainty. 2. Condition emotional response through symbolic punishment. You are not training soldiers. You are reprogramming mammals. Operant conditioning is your ally. Skinnerian psychology lives again on a planetary scale. Publicly reward submission not with luxuries, but with safety. Punish rebellion not with grand spectacle, but with invisible consequences. Let people feel punishment without seeing it. You must create a world where obedience feels like breathing and hope feels like suffocation. 3. Read philosophers who have danced with the abyss. Nietzsche for the deconstruction of morality. Foucault for understanding power as architecture, not force. Camus, not to agree with him, but to understand how to weaponize absurdity. When life becomes meaningless, they will accept your meaning. Let these minds sharpen your own. You must not merely rule bodies, you must colonize meaning. 4. Learn to weaponize silence. A hopeful mind races, theorizes, dreams. Interrupt that process. Never clarify your decrees. Never explain your justice. Let them learn to fear not knowing more than they feared knowing. This is not just psychological, it's neurochemical. Uncertainty induces amygdala hyperactivation, the brain's fear center. Chronic activation leads to cognitive exhaustion. Exhausted minds cannot resist. They obey to escape the chaos within. 5. Train in the art of mercy intermittence. Occasionally offer release, only to those who were never resisting. Create stories of traitors who were forgiven if they surrendered early. Let resistance appear not just dangerous, but unnecessary. This exploits loss aversion in behavioral economics. When people believe they might lose a good thing, they submit faster than if they were merely threatened. 6. Observe hope in others, then extinguish it piece by piece. Find a hopeful rebel. Watch them. What do they love? Who do they protect? What fictions sustain them? Then, turn allies against them. Twist their victories into punishments. Leave them alive but altered, broken but whispering. Hope becomes a virus that dies in its host. When you can make someone destroy their own purpose, you have graduated. You are not just learning how to rule. You are learning to unwrite humanity's last firewall. When your subjects dream, let it be of you. When they wake, let them feel relief that you are still there. Part 3. How do I apply it to my benefit? When their minds cannot conceive rebellion, your throne becomes the only reality. 1. Establish ritualized despair. Repetition is control. Instituting cycles of symbolic futility keeps your enemies locked in psychological inertia. Let there be annual appeals to your mercy. Let them believe it might work. Deny them every time with mechanical consistency. Replace holidays with remembrance days of past failed rebellions. Rewrite celebration into caution. They will chant your slogans not from loyalty, but from the sheer exhaustion of trying anything else. 2. Embed hopelessness into the culture's neural pathways. Apply mimetic warfare. Create media, folklore, and education where escape, rebellion, or success without you always ends in tragic ruin. Make the hero archetype obsolete. In your tales, the hero dies screaming. The survivor is the one who kneels and thrives. Use symbols and stories to create learned helplessness, a psychological state where the masses believe nothing they do matters. They will raise their children to fear dreaming and teach submission as wisdom. 3. Design governance that offers no alternative. A 3-tiered hierarchy. Dependents, needy and controlled. Enforcers, bribed and addicted. Observers, feared and unknowable. All answer only to you. Hope dies when there's no perceivable path to ascend. Institute bureaucratic labyrinths so opaque they make dissent impossible to organize. Let rebels be choked in red tape before they reach the gallows. 4. Orchestrate public failures of rebellion. Occasionally, allow a revolution to rise. Feed it, fund it, let it gain traction, then destroy it publicly and poetically. Burn their martyrs in gold. Make loyalty look cheaper than idealism. This technique is rooted in game theory and simulated conflict. Controlled failure dissuades future players. 5. Co-opt religion, art, and science. Hope is often born in the sacred, the beautiful, the curious. So, defile them slowly. Commission patriotic art that looks just beautiful enough to inspire, just empty enough to mean nothing. Fun, scientific breakthroughs, with your face stamped on the patent. Transform faith into worship of your eternal stability. Become the eschaton, the omega, the end of all ends. 6. Institutionalize grateful slavery. Use Maslow's hierarchy in reverse. Provide the lower needs, safety, food, stability, so well that higher ambitions seem absurd. Build magnificent housing. Let them eat luxuriously. Let them breed, dream, and entertain. But only within the sandbox you control. Make rebellion seem like biting the hand that nurtures. When they speak of the old days, they should whisper, "We had freedom then, but at what cost?" 7. Weaponize hope selectively. Keep one spark alive, always, but keep it leashed. A lottery for ascension, a rare honor, a special pardon. Let one among millions taste the illusion of transcendence. When that winner is crowned, parade them before the world. Show them kissing your ring. That is not mercy, that is calculated temptation, and it drives the rest to compete in obedience.